Hey guys, it's Spencer here from Spencer FC, coming to you from Amsterdam. We've just wrapped on the FIFA 18 Global Series playoffs, and we've successfully found the 32 best players in the world, all of which have qualified for the FIFA E-World Cup Grand Final. My friend Mike Labelle, who's on the second most comfortable seat. Oh, no.
You know it's live.
It's been an unbelievable
Awesome.
season of competitive FIFA this year. It's been a truly global competition as well, with more than 20 million players taking part from over 60 different countries.
And Vieira's going to lead him, and just using a lob cross, like I said, it gives you a little more time.
We've had some of the established pros continuing to mark.
You probably are gonna have to cut off your game noises because it's interfering with being able to actually hear the E3.
It's been a packed out season with events from all over the world. We've had tournaments such as the FUT Cups in Barcelona and Manchester, the EA Champions Cup in Bangkok as well. We've seen leagues such as the MLS, Bundesliga and La Liga all form
Yeah,
part
that's
of
much
the
better.
Series. We've seen other events such as the Gfinity Elite Series and ESWC, but all roads led to Amsterdam, where we've just wrapped on the FIFA 18 Global Series playoffs.
And there we go, congratulations to Nicholas.
So now we know the 32 players who will compete for the trophy, the massive cash prize, and the title of the world's best FIFA player.
There we
It
go.
kicks off on August 2nd to August 4th in London. You can catch all the action across EA Sports FIFA channel. So,
Alright, we should be good.
at the grand final,
We should also be live on the channels, right?
Yeah.
Everything's good there. How is all the audio?
Audio check.
I've never done a video like this, so okay, that guy's just screaming at the top of his fucking lungs. I'm guessing this has to do with soccer.
Well, it is the sports ball, so one of those.
Okay, sports ball.
Yeah, he did say FIFA.
There's going to be a lot of sports content here. EA does a lot of sports games, and they'll probably dedicate a good 20 to 30 minutes to them, unfortunately.
Well, it's
That's not really
unfortunate.
unfortunate.
Well,
It's
it is.
just
It is.
that
I mean,
it's not really
it's
anybody's
not my thing,
taste.
exactly.
Yeah.
Traveling around the world,
But
it's
it's
gotta be an
I
awesome
mean,
feeling.
they
Like, to
do it
become
for a
the
reason.
best
It's
FIFA
really
player,
popular with a
it's
lot
the
of
most
people,
popular sports
so.
game in the world.
Fitzman, I don't know how you get notifications that goddamn quick, man.
That's why I had to ask, but he's always.
I think he's got the best internet.
He has to, man. He has to have some good stuff.
Well, and he's like ready right there on that button the minute that like
Yeah.
notification.
So I mean, like, there's
his
not.
notification bells working.
So just a heads up on how we're going to be doing this for the guys that are here. We got like 5 or 6 people. We're going to be. There will be some gameplay in the background just while we're waiting for the actual conference to start. And then afterwards, we'll go back to having gameplay while we're discussing the conference. But during the conference, we are going to let the conference tell us what's going on and all that kind of stuff, and talk briefly in between trailers what we think of what we just saw. So thank you for joining us, and you know, anything that you guys want to add or ask or comment on, you're more than welcome to, and we'll make it as open as a discussion as possible for everybody in chat. There's 4 of us. I have chat right in front of me to be able to see. I don't know if chat's actually being broadcasted to the video. Hang on.
You may just actually show up on the stream. No.
There we go. I just fixed that.
No.
Okay, so your chat will actually show up in the video now. I had that shut off for my own. Your first E3. Oh man, this is like all the good stuff that comes out for video games, man. It's gonna be nice. Today is E3. I'm not really expecting too much from them, to be honest. But we'll see. I've been wrong before.
You mean like with EA? You don't? Yeah. Well, EA, is that what you're talking about?
With EA, yeah.
Yeah, EA has, in my opinion, traditionally done some really good games, but yeah, they've kind of had their issues lately.
Lately, I mean, I'd say, God, at least the last decade.
I mean,
They have
I
several
like,
franchises I've been interested in.
yeah, I like their old school stuff, and I'm hoping they're going to come back around and actually do some really good games again, because I really thoroughly have enjoyed some of their older games, so we'll see.
Go ahead and stream it. So we are
Yeah, we'll see.
100 hours 100 games with 100 streamers from Baby Ariel.
Yeah, actually, Fitz, that is the new Assassin's Creed game is going to be on E3.
Yep.
And
That's going to be Ubisoft though. That will
And
be
their baby Anthem. We'll see what's going on with that, because there's been some
yes.
real hang-ups with that over the last little while. Especially with as bad as Battlefield, was it Battlefield 2? Not Battlefield, Star Wars Battlefront or whatever it is. As bad as that did with the in-game purchases and stuff like that, that's how they had planned to do Anthem. So there's a lot of hang-ups with that lately, so we'll see exactly how well that goes.
From what I've researched, the key things that we're likely to see today are going to be Anthem, sports games, Battlefield 5, and it's possible we may see something Star Wars related, but that is in no way guaranteed. There are a lot of people hoping, but with the way that the
Thank you so much for talking to me today.
with the way that the current Star Wars movies are going, and the fact that Battlefront 2 had so many difficulties with microtransactions, etc., they might be kind of shy about that.
Going to start in just a few minutes, so I'm going to send it over to Jose, who I believe is in the Sims booth. Jose, what are you doing over there?
Sorry, did they say Sims booth?
Oh, hello.
They did.
Stop and smell
It is possible. I forgot about the Sims.
I want Sims. I want new Sims.
Yes, please.
I made my way to the Sims booth. And what do we have over here?
Yep, they are talking about the
Julie
Sims.
and James, how are you? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you guys.
The other thing I really want is any news possible on Dragon Age 4. It's been 4 years since the last one, and we need more information.
I'm James Turner. I run a channel called The Sims Supply, and I play The Sims, build houses. I love to design some cool things in it.
And so obviously, new expansion is coming.
You may need to
Seasons-
turn
Oh, it's just a new
stream.
expansion.
Why are you excited about Seasons?
You may need to turn the E3 stream sounds up if you can.
You have
Yeah, sure, I can do it.
rain and snow, and it's just going to seem so much more real. So I'm pumped for the rain, I think, mostly.
I'm really excited for winter because it absolutely looks beautiful. Like, I cannot wait to see all the different worlds covered in snow.
And when winter is coming, you know what happens, right? It's going down in the world of The Sims.
Yeah, Howard, I'm pretty sure we all are really excited for some new horror games. Some good horror
I
games.
don't know that we're gonna get that. I turned it up a little bit. I don't know how that is. I don't know how that's going to, or how E3 is going to play in that though. I hope they do, but
You mean EA? Or
yeah,
E3?
EA.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, I'm excited about, and I don't know if it's really considered horror, but I think it is. I'm excited for the new The Last of Us, because that's supposed to be coming out.
That'd be a
Yeah, that'll be at
Microsoft.
Sony's
Yeah.
conference.
They have the winter holidays.
Who is
What
it?
was that, Kat?
That'll be at Sony's conference. That's a
Yeah.
PlayStation exclusive.
That's what it is. Yeah, PlayStation.
So they're not going to cover that on E3 at all?
Yeah, no, it just won't be today.
Well, yeah. Oh, I know it's not today.
It's going to be at Sony's conference. From what I've heard, from what I've researched, there are 4 key games Sony is going to be mainly highlighting. There are going to be other things they will cover, but I'll look into what those are again. I don't have the list in front of me, but I know The Last of Us 2 is one of
If you're
them.
not here and getting the chance to play it, they're streaming 100 hours of EA games, and that's going to be a part of it, so people can get a little sneak peek about what you see in Seasons.
Possibly Seasons. I myself am streaming tomorrow with Lil Simsy, another big simmer, and Baby Ariel. And I don't know if we're going to play Seasons, but we'll be playing some Sims content, so it's going to be
Trying to keep all the secrets for themselves. See, that's just how it is. If you could stream Seasons, you would, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, 100%.
I would.
So what got you into The Sims? What is it about The Sims that keeps you coming back for each and every expansion?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing since the first Sims came out.
How's the volume on that, by the way?
As well. My dad
Yeah, I
brought
just
it home one day,
commented
and
on
I
that.
would just play it every chance I could. It's
Oh, I
just
didn't
like
hear you say anything
creative
about it.
outlet, and
No, I actually put it in the
Again, you know,
E3
like, what is
thing.
it about that world of getting to create your own world and create your own atmosphere? Now,
If
getting to
memory
create your own
serves me,
seasons and
Hitman
tweak
is
that a little bit. How
actually
does that
a
make
Square
you feel
Enix
like? What
property,
keeps you coming
and
back?
that'll probably show up
That's the
at their
creativity for me.
conference,
Like,
if
I've
anywhere.
always growing up, I love building with Legos and all that kind of stuff. So being able to create your own world and craft it, tell the stories with The Sims the way you want to, and now being able to control the weather and just adding that into all
Oh, I'm sorry. Because did you say how's the volume for the E3 thing now?
Anytime we talk, it's just you cannot hear anything they're saying on the E3 stream. So either we're gonna have to be turned down, it's gonna have to be turned up, or we're gonna have to completely quit.
Well, once the conference starts and then we go into trailers and stuff, yeah, it's gonna be quiet.
Yeah, I was just letting you know, like, you cannot hear them when we talk. So just something to be aware of.
That's fine. For this part of it, that's fine.
For me, it would be get to work so far, because able to run retail stores, so you can become an entrepreneur, sell whatever you want from the catalog. I always love that aspect of the game, being able to make my way in the world.
He's like, I love playing games because, you know, I like the job part of it. I love getting to work with my Sims, putting those Sims to work. Lazy Sims just lying around. Well, now they get to lie around, and hopefully in the sun, maybe a little rain, maybe like lying around in the snow.
Yeah.
June 22nd.
Snow Angels.
Oh, you can make Snow Angels. See, that's what I'm in for.
How exciting is that?
So June 22nd, you're going to get your chance to make Snow Angels when the Sim Seasons expansion hits everywhere. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And thank you. Hopefully you guys have a great EA Play. And now let's take a look at exactly what I've been talking about with this trailer for the Sim
Seasons.
There we go.
More coming June 22nd to The Sims, but now say you're interested in perhaps working in the games industry. That's what I do. I've been doing it for quite a long time, and I'd like to do more. I'd like to learn more. So that's why I found Shannon here to explain a little bit about how I could get a job in the games industry. First off, Shannon, how are you going to help me get a job in this industry that I love so much?
Absolutely. Gaming industry opens up such a variety of opportunities and careers within this industry, and that's what I love about it. It doesn't matter if you want to be a developer, if you want to be finance, analyst, we have all types of opportunities for you, and that's what we're here for. I'm a recruiting team, is to partner with you, help you identify what skill sets align with your passions and career.
Now, is that a tough gig to be a recruiter for the video games industry? Because it seems like, I mean, lots of people love video games. I assume a lot of people want to work in the games industry. How do you find and pick perfect spots for people?
I always tell people network with who you know in the industry and make sure you're engaging new people to learn from them as well. But for us, we actually just want to engage all talent. There's so many different types of skill sets and levels that we want to include into our industry. That's what makes it diverse, so we can have such great experiences for everybody.
And as a recruiter, how cool is it for you to get to come to something like EA Play and see all these people who are passionate about video games and you might even be hiring someday?
Oh, it's so exciting. The vibe here is great. I love knowing that we're surrounded by such creative people and passionate people about the industry. And it's just great to see that come into our culture and see what environments get pushed through all the other different teams.
Now, you can be a recruiter for tons of things. There's tons of jobs out there. What is it about the games industry that is the perfect place to be recruiting for? I mean, because as I said earlier, you know, there's so many passionate people, but how different is...
That makes me want to play The Sims, by the way. I really want to play The Sims now.
It's such a fun
yes,
environment
absolutely.
to be in. That's the great thing. With all the different creative people that you're surrounded by, you can learn from every day. There's new technologies going on in the game industry. It's just an exciting environment, and that allows you to be an individual. We really embrace that within the culture.
And what got you into this industry? I mean, again, Tons of industries out there, but what is it about games that brought you into that world?
I'm passionate about gaming. I love to game, and for me to be able to merge recruiting with gaming is a dream come true for me. So I encourage that to anybody. If you love gaming, get out there, go to EA Careers, check it out, see what we have for you to check to potentially just be involved with. Like I said, we have everything from recruiting, HR, finance, artists, designers, programmers. We love every type of skill set.
So that's all we have to do is go to ea.com/careers?
ea.com/careers. Check out our world, check out our locations across the globe.
Shannon, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a great time.
I'm going to have an awesome time, and that's just one job that you can get in the games industry, but perhaps playing video games is the job you want. That's right, playing the games. How about playing the games way before they even come out? EA has playtesting available for you. That's right, you can be a gameplay tester. That means playing games months, sometimes years before they come out, and having the opportunity to help develop that game and make sure that it's the perfect game and the game you want it to be. Maybe you live in the United States, Canada, Sweden.
I would love to do something like that. Like, I would absolutely love to go be a game tester, but I feel like I don't know if I'd want to do it for EA.
Yeah.
You can find the perfect career path for you in testing video games. It sounds so amazing. You don't live in those areas?
It's a tough call. I did book reviews for 3 years, and the problem with testing or being able to read things in advance or stuff like that is you can really burn out on your hobby.
You don't even need to leave the bed. You could just be hanging out in your jams, testing video games, giving your feedback, and helping how these video games are made. So once again, ea.com/playtesting. Go there, find out all the information. You'll make a couple clicks here and there, and you too can be playtesting video games way before they come out.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does have a lot of writing into it. Let's see, here we go. So let me get caught up on chat real quick while we're waiting for the next little bit.
So that's, again, playtesting. Go check it out. And now we're going to go ahead inside and see what Andrea's doing. I think she's busy. She looks a little too busy for me.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Riley? Welcome, man. We're just watching some the E3 stuff. We've got about 2 minutes until the actual conference starts.
Only a few minutes away.
Yeah, it does have a lot of writing in it. You have to go through a lot of
But I want to learn a little bit more about the Palladium.
this is wrong on this level. This is kind of buggy on that level. When you do this, this happens. It's a lot of essentially a lot of what would come off as complaining. But I mean, it's necessary, but that's what you'd be doing. You'd be complaining about small things for a living. I could do it, but I don't know if I could do it for EA.
Rolling Stones, Nirvana, Prince, Elton John, lately Jay-Z, Justin Timberlake, Dave Chappelle filmed a special here, so about everything in between. And then last year EA came in for the first time, transformed the parking lot, the venue, blew it up even more this year. And so now we have this festival here with gaming, music. It's a great time.
And so what is it about EA Play that excites you the most?
I just like the transformation of the venue. We take over the whole block, close down streets. There's thousands of people that come through, have a good time. They have A-list talent that come and play concerts at night. It's a really good time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dylan. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's a little bit about the Palladium. And now, let's head inside and check out the show.
Here we go.
Fun Zone. She told me to rap. I was rapping. We're still going. Or not rapping. We're still... I was lied to. Welcome to the Family Fun Zone, my friends. This is where you can get all your real racing action on. It may be a mobile game, but say perhaps you'd like to play a game in a race chair with a steering wheel. There are 4 stages. Look at this guy's jumping the stage. He's like, I'm ready. I'm jumping in live. No pressure, but the camera's on. There's a ball pit over here. There's food over here. We're going inside. Let's head inside and check out the show.
Did they actually switch this time? Okay. Alright, so here we go for the actual conference, guys. We'll pick up talking about this stuff after it's over.
Yep.
Anthem. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But welcome, everybody, to EA Play. I'm Andrea Renee, and while you might recognize me from the gaming community, I'm kind of a new face around here. So this year, EA wanted to change things up because they know that I'm both a gamer and a fan. So they invited me to come and host the show. And I think this year is going to be a lot of fun, you guys. I hope you're ready because we're about to kick the press conference off. But before we do that, EA Play is more than just the show you're about to watch. Right behind these doors, there is a fan fest outside, and it is huge this year. It's a full 3-day gaming festival where thousands of gamers can come and play games for free. Now, inside the theater here, there are hundreds of community members from all over the world who are going to be capturing, streaming, and getting their first impressions of the games that we're going to be showing off here today. But before we can get to that, we've got some reveals, of course. We're going to kick things off with a look at Battlefield 5 multiplayer. Now, I know Trevor Noah gave you the first look. Yeah, we can clap it up. Last month, but we've got some new stuff to show you today. Then we're going to move on to FIFA 19, and boy, do they have some big news, you guys. Any World Cup fans? You guys excited? Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Then we've got 2 new indie games to share, and then I'm going to come back towards the end of the show with some of my favorite developers to give you guys a nice, meaty look at Anthem. And of course, yeah, we got the woos for Anthem. I'm into it. You want to do this with me? Well, it wouldn't be fun, you guys, if I told you all the secrets at once, right? Well, give him a break. He needs to just enjoy the show. So without further ado, let's get things started.
Right, it's time to kick this thing off. It's been 2 weeks since the reveal of Battlefield 5. And you know what? It's been exciting, there's been a lot of speculation, and so many brilliant remixes of a reveal trailer. But there's also been lots and lots of questions from the community. And we've heard you want to see more gameplay innovations. You want to know how customization actually works, and you want to know more about our take on the Second World War. So today, we'll show you more gameplay and why this is the deepest and most immersive Battlefield yet.
It certainly is. You will be able to dive and smash through windows to surprise your enemies. Where previously defenses were stationary, you will now be able to move these weapons around on the battlefield and gain advantages. And our renowned distraction system is back and more impactful than ever. So, well, you can't really hide from those pesky tanks anymore as they come chasing it for you, as they rip through those buildings. And you will now be able to customize your soldiers, your vehicles, and your weapons, not only for the gameplay, but for the looks, as part of our portrayal of the Second World War.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg in Battlefield 5. You're going to see a lot more of our new gameplay systems here at EA Play from our community. So let's talk about our single player in War Stories.
Yes, let's do that. So we want to tell you about those untold stories that got us excited to start with on this game. It's about what you will see is really those moments of human heroism. It is about witnessing the war through the eyes of the men and the women who shaped the world forever. Real and relatable people facing the brutality of war. We started off by an exclusive look at the Nordlys war story over at the Xbox briefing tomorrow.
Thanks, Lasse. Something not to miss tomorrow. So, our launch in October is just the beginning. You will all go on an expanding journey through the Second World War. No loot boxes, no premium pass. Every day will bring something new. And as part of that journey, after launch, you'll get something I know a lot of you have been asking for.
It's Royale. It's Royale reimagined for Battlefield. So we bring those pillars of Battlefield with destruction, team play, vehicles into this new experience. So we will bring you experience that you haven't played before in Battlefield or anywhere else. But more about that later this year.
So with that, it's time to show you what makes Battlefield so special. It's the unmatched intensity of our multiplayer sandbox, and this time, it's even more epic, fighting across multiple maps and modes. Welcome to your next Battlefield experience, and this is your first look at ground operations. And this time, even featuring music.
Ikke en dråpe. Jeg elsker deg.
Sus!
Quando eu era criança, sempre sonhei em tornar-me um campeão. É preciso determinação e vontade de vencer. Até mesmo nos momentos mais difíceis, tu tens de continuar a acreditar. Esta é a tua oportunidade de te mostrares ao mundo. Tu és um campeão.
That's the UEFA Champions League, the pinnacle of club football, where the world's best clubs compete and icons of the game like Gerrard and Cruyff cemented their legacies. The world's biggest league joins the world's game. And a special thanks to the legendary Hans Zimmer and LA's own Vince Staples for collaborating with us on the trailer. And I really love the trailer because it captures our epic vision for how the Champions League comes to life in FIFA 19. And Lena's going to tell you a little bit more about that.
As Aaron said, the UEFA Champions League is an amazing addition for the game. It's where football's biggest heroes like Ronaldo and Neymar clash every year. and it's the place where champions rise. And you've been asking for this for a long time, and we are thrilled that it's here. And that's why we're bringing the Champions League across the game. There'll be an authentic Champions League tournament mode. Your club will chase this trophy in career mode. Alex Hunter will pursue Champions League glory in your story mode, The Journey, and in FIFA Ultimate Team, there'll be live and authentic Champions League content. And we'll share more details on that, along with all our other Ultimate Team features later this summer.
And all that's just the beginning. As you know, the heart and soul of FIFA is gameplay. And this year, we're giving you the tools to control the pitch in every moment, from your tactical approach to the match to each technical touch. And we know how passionate you are about gameplay, so we've worked hard to shape and refine our vision for FIFA 19 with input from our community. From hands-on tests with beginners to detailed feedback sessions with FIFA pros. And we're going to be sharing a lot more about gameplay throughout the summer, but what I can tell you right now is that the quality bar in gameplay was raised yet again this year. So we look forward to everybody experiencing the game on the hands-on sessions this week. And also, of course, we're extremely excited for everybody to play it when we launch on September 28th. And that's our FIFA 19 news, headlined by the UEFA Champions League. But I just wanted to take a minute to pause and reflect. Standing next to this trophy is a little bit surreal. You know, growing up, there's two iconic trophies that every young player dreams of winning. And for your club, it's this one, the pursuit of Champions League glory. But for your country, it's this trophy, the World Cup. And with the tournament starting in just 5 days, we're excited for the world to compete for it in FIFA 18.
As you can imagine, all of us on the FIFA team can't wait for the start of the World Cup. And we want to celebrate with FIFA 18 players, which is why we've just updated the game with a free World Cup experience on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PS, PC, and Nintendo Switch. But you can take Ronaldo and Portugal to their first World Cup victory. Or you can write your own story with some great nations who didn't qualify this year. Or you can make a crazy dream a reality for your home country, like mine, Iceland. Who would have thought that a nation of only 350,000 people would ever qualify? And you can feel their excitement.
Apologies to any England fans in the room, that might still sting. And Lena isn't the only one who's excited. FIFA 18 players are loving the World Cup experience so far. But we don't want to stop there. We want to invite everyone to come and join the celebration. So I'm pleased to announce that for a limited time, FIFA 18 complete with the entire World Cup experience is available for a free trial on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and on PC through Origin Access. Yeah, you can download and play the entire game right now for free. Yeah.
You have to say that's really cool.
So to kick off the trial, we've got some of the world's biggest creators who are going to be playing live at the end of the show, representing their nations in a little mini World Cup tournament.
And this summer will bring so much more for FIFA fans. Plenty of FIFA 18 content centered around the World Cup, and we'll bring you all the details on FIFA 19. But in the meantime, let's all enjoy the World Cup. Thank you, and auf Island!
It is the big day, on the biggest stage, at the World Cup.
Good morning. EA Sports, FIFA 19. You know, the FIFA community never rests. 20 million people from 60 countries playing in competitive leagues this year. Well, the FIFA team never rests either, bringing the Champions League and the World Cup and so much other greatness to FIFA this year. We can't wait for you to experience it all. We've got so much to do here today, but I want to welcome you to EA Play. It's our third EA Play and our second one in Hollywood, and we couldn't be more excited to have you with us to share all the games that we have to show you. We've got lots to do, but before we move on, I'd like to share just a couple of things. The greatest disruption to the consumption of entertainment media in the last 5 years is the combination of streaming plus subscription. As consumers, watching movies, watching TV, listening to music, reading books has never been easier. And we believe that disruption is going to have a profound impact on our industry in the next few years. And so over the last couple of weeks, you will have seen that we announced a new team from Israel has joined Electronic Arts to help our investment to extend our thinking and extend our pioneering into this cloud gaming world. For many people, that's going to mean extending the experiences they already play on our partner platforms. For others, it's going to mean new games and new modalities of play across a whole variety of platforms. But for everyone, it's going to mean playing games anywhere, anytime. So this week, we've got a tech demo running. All of our games streaming in HD from the cloud to multiple devices that you'll be able to try out for yourselves. Now, it's not quite ready for full market prime time yet, but it is a promise of what we hope to bring you in the future. The second part of that, of course, is subscription. And we started subscription a number of years ago, and many millions of you have signed up and experienced the joy of being able to have full access to a great catalog of games. Today, we're announcing Origin Access Premier. So 3 things you need to know about it. Origin Access Premier will bring you all of our new PC games, starting with Madden NFL, back on the PC for the first time in over a decade. Then FIFA 19, Battlefield 5, and of course Anthem. And there'll be many more titles in the years to come. Second, you get access to The Vault, our library of over 100 games from EA and other publishers. And third, it will launch later this summer. So that's a little later in the year, but if you want to get started right now and experience the benefits and joys of subscription, come in and play a free trial of Origin Access, our base subscription, this weekend. Thank you and have a great show.
But I don't see how. Got a real tight grip when I hold that crown. My life been good and bad and all around. The more things I lost, the more I found. Came here ready to fight on this night. You better just run for your life.
Hey everybody, what's up? So I'm here sitting inside the crowd at EA Play, and I just happened to find Mr. Vince Zampella here in the audience from Respawn. What's going on, Vince? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I love this stuff. I love seeing new games.
I mean, someone's super excited about that man on PC, right? Yeah! So, you guys may have seen that Vince was tweeting yesterday, and there has been a bunch of speculation. So, you want to just get right to it?
Sure. I mean, we're not ready to show all of our stuff yet. We're working on a bunch of stuff. It's amazing. The teams are kicking ass. But we wanted to bring a little tidbit. So we've been working with Lucas on getting the name and kind of the setting for what our Star Wars game is going to be, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Oh, you guys got any guesses? I bet you the internet is going wild right now.
I hope so. So the Star Wars name is Jedi Fallen Order.
Woo! So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, so it kind of gives you some idea that you'll be playing a Jedi.
So does that mean I get to, like, hold a lightsaber?
Yes.
So Vince, you got anything else?
Well, it takes place during the Dark Times, trying to be a little vague here, but when the Jedis are being hunted, so it's going to be spectacular.
So for all the hardcore nerds out there who want to know like where in the timeline, like between which episodes is it?
Between 3 and 4.
Okay, all right, between 3 and 4. That sounds like a nice time. You got any other tidbits?
No, it's not a nice.
It's a dark time.
It's a dark time.
Bad time. Does that mean it's going to just be all dark and serious?
It's amazing.
All right, so I think people are now anxiously want to know, like, when can we play the game?
It will be holiday of next year, 2019, not this year.
Sorry to dash any hopes.
No.
But now that we know, we can set expectations. We're all going to be amped up, and hopefully we'll hear more from you maybe next year.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Vince, it was great to see you. Thanks for stopping by the show today. We do have a little bit more news on Star Wars, so I'm going to toss it over to Dennis.
Hello there. My name is Dennis. I work at DICE in Stockholm on Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm really happy and excited to be here today, so thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little bit. So we launched our game in November of last year, and clearly we didn't get it quite right. So instead of coming out of the gate sprinting like we really wanted to, we had to take a step back and make sure that we were delivering the game that our players really wanted. So we decided to completely overhaul our progression system and add a bunch of new character cosmetics for players to collect instead. So from there, we added a new hunt mode inspired by the original Battlefront games that I loved personally, starting with the Ewoks on Endor. And thank you. It turned out to be by far the most popular update of the game, and the team loved building Ewok Hunt. So, as you might know, we're currently in our Han Solo season with content from the movie coming next week. It's headlined by the new planet Kessel, a really dangerous place, and it features the return of one of our favorite modes, Extraction. So looking forward a little bit, this summer we will be introducing a new squad system to the game, which will allow you to team up much easier and play with your friends. We're also adding a new Starfighter mode focused around dogfighting with your hero ships. And looking ahead a little bit more, we will also be delivering a new large-scale multiplayer sandbox experience focused around capturing command posts and attacking and taking out capital ships. But that's not all. We know that you have been asking for new heroes, villains, and planets from a certain era that features a very iconic Star Wars conflict. So I'm excited to confirm that Battlefront 2 this year will be going deep into the Clone Wars. It's only fitting that we begin on the planet Geonosis, featuring multiple levels, including the largest level we have ever built for Battlefront. So let's talk about the heroes and villains. First, let me introduce the most powerful droid, the leader of the most powerful droid army in the galaxy, General Grievous. And yes, he will be going up against my own personal favorite, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Finally making his debut in Battlefront after all these years. But we're not done. That's not it. They will not come alone. Joining them is the Dark Lord and leader of the Separatist Alliance, Count Dooku, as well as someone to bring balance to the Force, Obi-Wan's unruly Padawan, Anakin Skywalker. The team at home is extremely excited to be building all of these cool things. EA and DICE are committed to Battlefront. We had a rough start, but I really think that this game has a bright future. Thank you very much for playing the game, providing us with your feedback, talking to us. Together, we will make this the greatest game that we can possibly build. There would be no Battlefront without you. So thank you, may the force be with you, and enjoy the rest of E3. Thanks.
Hi, it's really good to see you. In Unravel, we used yarn to symbolize love and the bonds between people. In our new game, we tear that bond up right at the start. You lose everything, including your spark. But when things are at their darkest, you find hope. And you form a new bond. And your spark is rekindled. And it leads you off on an adventure. So welcome to Unravel 2. It's a game about fresh starts and second chances. These two little souls who refuse to give up and who build something new and beautiful together. And the whole game is inspired by that spirit of optimism and togetherness. You see, it's all made to be played with two characters. You can play it alone, or you can play it in co-op with a friend, but there's always two characters there, sharing one yarn and working together to get through this adventure. This game, it's quite different from the first. It's both friendlier and more challenging, but above all, it's a lot more playful. And we think it's a worthy successor.
Amazing.
And I want to show it to you now. So I brought some help. So please welcome Michael to the stage. He's a producer at Coldwood. And we're going to try to show you a little bit of what I'm talking about how you can play the game in co-op with yourself, essentially.
So this wasn't prepared.
There we are.
Well, this would be interesting.
This looks awesome.
So when you're playing it by yourself, you can essentially pick up the other character and carry them along through the more fast-paced segments of the game. And we actually tried to include a bit more of those because we figured that since it's a co-op game, we wanted to have more like thrill and danger and kind of wow moments, places that were like fun and exciting. And then when you get to the more puzzly areas like this, when you're problem solving, you can split apart into two and switch back and forth between the two characters. Because that's how we've essentially designed all the problems and puzzles of the game, that you're always working together and helping each other out and utilizing this bond between you to overcome any obstacle that you come across. So I guess I'll jump in at this point.
Yeah, come Yoni. So I'm going to be the red one.
Okay.
You'll be the blue one.
I'll be blue. A little celebratory flip there. And the bird is back. Oops. Okay, playing it safely now. Oops. I'll swing.
All right.
Nice. And I'll catch you.
There you go. Can I swing now?
Okay, you go ahead. It goes. Oh. Okay, this is the scary part. Let's see if we can do it. Got it? Oh, very nice. No. Oh, faster. Oh, sweet, well done. Okay, I'll go up and distract the grouse. You can.
I'll sneak up here.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah, look at me. Here you go.
Keep him over to the left. Now I'll go.
All right.
I'll
pull you up. There you go.
Now we can breathe again.
Yeah, finally.
Or can we? So that's a quick little look at Unravel 2. Yeah, I really hope you like it. And before I go, I just want to send some love to the team back home, because working on this game has been a completely amazing team effort in so many levels, and everybody has worked so hard. So there's a bunch of us from Coldwood here, and thank you to those, and thank you to everybody back home, and thank you. Love you.
That's definitely a game I'm gonna play.
Jay and I are talking about it right now.
The first one was really good. It had such a beautiful story.
The sea waves are my evening gold, and the sun on my head is my home. I lay this kingdom on my own, and all the mountains are my home. Your kingdom come. Your kingdom come. My kingdom come. My kingdom come. My kingdom come. My kingdom
Thank you,
That was a
Martin,
really neat game,
and
the
the
first
brilliant
one.
team at Coldwood. The game is really strong.
So I would absolutely
These guys
be
have done an
looking forward to the
amazing
second
job.
one.
and
I
it's
didn't even know they
clear
made a second
that they have a
one.
lot of passion, and I can't personally wait to play Unravel 2
Yeah, I
with
didn't
my
either.
kids.
This is the first I've heard of it.
But what's even
I'm
more
looking for
amazing
it.
is that we will make Unravel 2 available to everyone today. Yep, you heard that right. You'll be able to
Ooh,
take
that's
these two
cool.
Yarnies on their next big adventure starting today. The game is finished, it's out.
That's actually a really smart way to do
So
that.
thank you, Martin, and thank you to the team at Coldwood.
Yeah.
Back in
Just make it
2015,
immediately
we started
available.
on this journey with the original
Oh, nice.
Unravel to
Nice.
seek out the most creative, independent developers and bring
Yes,
them into our EA Originals program. It's been our way of helping these creators bring their unique games to the world and to tell their stories. And last year, if you remember, Joseph Fares was up here on stage representing his team at Hazelight and The Way Out. And I think we all kind of remember that. And you might even remember him from the Game Awards as well. I think I did. Anyhow, in March, that game caught fire. It's innovative, it's fun, and it's something fresh and new, and you all loved it. We saw over 2 million players in the first 2 weeks. And A Way Out is such a huge success that Joseph and his team are expanding and moving into a new studio. So stories like this drive our industry, and it's why we will continue to work with independent developers to help them realize their dreams. Which leads us to our next EA Originals title, from a little game studio in Berlin called Jomai Games. When I met this team and I saw the game, I was instantly drawn to how personal this story was. It's one that carries a very powerful and important message.
and it's unlike anything we have ever done. So please welcome Connie Gepper to the stage from Joe My Games to tell you more about Sea of Solitude.
Thank you, Patrick. I still remember during the pitch how enthusiastic Patrick was, and that afterwards, like, our whole team, including me, were super excited. It actually feels a little bit the same right now. I'm pretty excited, maybe a little too excited. Thank you. We are Yomai, a small indie game studio from Berlin, and we are developing Sea of Solitude, or SOS as we call it. The whole journey from the very first concept to actually becoming a part of EA Originals is simply amazing. Let me tell you more about our game. When humans get too lonely, they turn into monsters. This is at the core of everything you will see, hear, and hopefully feel while playing SOS. What makes this underlying concept so important and so unique is that nearly every human being can at least somehow relate to or remember the feeling of being lonely. In my case, I started writing the story when I felt the loneliest in my life. I think as an artist, you process your emotional world by letting it out and putting it into your art. I'm still amazed how the concept seems to just float out of me right into the hand and onto the paper. I think this is also why so many people can instantly connect with the game, because it's not a made-up story, even though that it takes place in a fantastic setting. In SOS, we try to show how people experience different kinds of loneliness, but also how outsiders, friends, and family see those who struggle. We achieve all this in playful ways so that players who want to simply enjoy a fantastic experience can do so. But player who wants to look a bit deeper can reveal a whole emotional world beneath it all. Sea of Solitude is about a young woman named Kay who is suffering from such strong loneliness that her inner feeling, the darkness, the anger, the hopelessness, worthlessness, turns to the outside and she becomes a monster. The game is about finding out why this happened to her, but also how to turn her back into a human. Ultimately, the goal is to bring all those emotions into balance. Some needs to become bigger, some would be better off a little smaller, but to embrace even your destructive part or your self-doubt in the same way you embrace your joy or your hope. This is what being human is all about. And that's what our game is all about. Thank you.
Is this real?
This world that I live in is empty and cold. The loneliness cuts me and tortures my soul. I'm no child of destiny and no fortune's son. I've just chased you so long now, I'm too weak to run. A new day is here, but nothing is new. Alone in my room, I tremble for you.
Yeah, I'm the one.
but I'm not the only one. We are the one. We can shut you down, and we can put you on an island. Crossover. Gather. Gang. And we're balling. Be ready. Because we're coming at you with the squad. Say it how you want. Trust the process. Run as one. Call next. Or be the answer. As long as you hold your course. Just remember though, wherever you call home, whatever your fit, or however you ball, you're on my court. I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. And this is my squad.
My name's Shea Kivlin, aka Young Kiv. I'm from Seattle, Washington. The only goal of mine is really to win the Madden belt.
Kiv's been going after that belt since 2016. At some point, he's going to need to get out of this quarterfinal and claim a major.
It's a big night for Young Kiv. He's been stuck at the quarterfinals.
And here he is now in his first championship game, looking to accomplish a goal.
3rd and 4, throws it low. T.Y. drops it.
That was a phenomenal read, and Trini's got the lead.
40-19.
I hate losing way more than I love winning.
Oh, we have a incredible matchup. It's a rematch. Touchdown, Kev. He throws it high, and Young Kev is going to be your champion.
Can I play you again?
You want to get smacked again on TV?
Happy face, no! Madden 18 champion.
He's finally done it.
Okay, baby, how you doing?
I've been good. You still recovering from that butt whooping?
Wow, already starting. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Juju Smith-Schuster from the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you guys can see, king of touchdown celebrations. That's pretty fire. I like that a lot.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. Those are some pants. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
I was thinking. What are you wearing?
Give it up
dude?
for Young Kiv, y'all. Give it up.
Wow.
Young Kiv, how has it been? You know, your success and your path, you know, to where you're at today.
It's I've always been a competitor. When I was in high school, I was playing baseball. I hurt my arm. So then I picked up Madden, and at first, I was really bad. I was getting blown out online, but I kept at it. I put more and more time into it. Eventually, I made my first tournament, but I had a big decision. It was the same time as my graduation.
Wow, okay. So the key to be the #1 player in Madden is to hurt your arm in baseball. That's number one. Number two, you said you had the decision to go to your graduation or go to the tournament. So, like, what did you do?
I chased that money. I still got my diploma, but I chased that money.
There you go. We're out here chasing money. That's awesome. Okay, now the past few years, how has it been for you? I know you had some ups and downs.
It's been tough. I've had a lot of devastating losses. I've been so close so many times. I made the final on TV and got blown out by all those losses. It made me gain a lot of mental toughness, and that's why I got this belt.
That's awesome. That belt is so amazing. There's a lot of, bling on that belt for you. Well, today, EA Play, first look at the Madden 19 trailer. Super excited. It's going to be so fun. It's lit. I honestly wish I can stay right here and talk to you guys forever, but I'm not going to board you guys. We're going to go out. I'm going to try to take this belt, round 2. So we're out. Have a good day.
You've worked your whole life to get to moments like these. To the very top of the mountain. You battled through the pain and failure. All just to get to this place where you've been told legends are born. You fall so you can rise. And you rise so that you can truly see that it was really Never about reaching the end of the road at all, but about all the moments that got you here. So, you were in their position. Would you let the moment define you? Or will you define the moment?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nathanius, professional shoutcaster, here alongside Redwood Studios General Manager Michael Martinez. How you doing today?
I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, we're going to do this presentation a little bit differently and give you your first look at a brand new mobile game in a live, winner-take-all, head-to-head match. Michael, why don't you tell us the rules?
Sure thing. The objective is straightforward. Destroy the opponent's base to win. Unit control, super simple. Just tap the destination, unit automatically moves there. The most efficient way to destroy the opponent's base is with this giant nuclear missile in the center of the map. Control the missile by standing on a majority of the control points. A bar fills up while the missile is possessed. Whoever controls the missile when the bar fills up will fire the missile. It takes 2 missiles to destroy the enemy's base and win. That's it.
Sounds great, Michael. Well, enough talking about it. Let's get to this match.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome matchup lined up for you here today. Fighting for the blue side of the room, if you could please give a cheer for one of the most formidable RTS players there is. Make some noise for In Control.
Yes.
His opponent, fighting for the red side of the room, a competitive mobile gaming phenomenon. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Nick at Night. Now, Mike, it's going to be a real clash of these gaming styles and the competitive backgrounds that these players have. It should be a great match.
It really is. I can't wait.
All right. Are the players ready? Let's get this thing going.
Ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's kick this off. Nice little strategy game for those of you out there. It's a good genre. I'm very excited for this. The players are loading in, and we are ready to
the
kick
match. Here we go.
This off. As the players' bases have been deployed and the action begins like any strategy game. Economy will be the focus. We have a harvester to start things off. Nothing too crazy yet.
Nothing too crazy.
Now the infantry is going to come out to hold that top point. Both players, of course, trying to take that position. Nick at Night being able to reach it a little bit first in a strategy game. That flank position that In Control is going from the top side, also very important as Nick at Night's forces have to circle around the center.
Right, let's see if he's able to create a 2-on-1. Is he able to get there? Looks like he's getting there. Here comes GDI with a Rhino. It's going to rip up those infantry.
Yeah, going for the anti-infantry. And like any strategy game, the units that you're going to use when you deploy them will have a huge impact. Your micromanagement of your forces and protecting that economy as well.
Yep. Nick at Night with some attack bikes in the top. There he is.
And In Control placing the turret on the top right side to help cover that Rhino as attack bikes move towards the northwest position. We can see that the missile is beginning to ready and firing that. That takes out half your base. The most important objective on the map is to hold those control zones.
Right, and In Control making a lot of progress to that far right side of the match.
He's done a great job of holding that down with the turret, and now he's redeploying his vehicles to the south side, bringing out more infantry to deal with the attack bikes. And as that economy ramps up, of course, we're seeing bigger, more powerful units come out. We have there the drill pod coming in the left side to help flank those
some flamethrowers. Right, absolutely. Again, those are going to tear through those infantry.
Yeah, and In Control brings out his first tank. That's going to be used to try and help push back these smaller forces as he makes his way to the south side. That missile passing halfway now. Both two zones in control of Nick at Night. He will have the missiles. We see it starts to point towards In Control's base.
Let's see if In Control can get around to that top corner, able to halt that missile. He does contest the missile, putting it into the yellow position.
Yeah, very important, of course. Blocking the pathing of those units is another big factor for this strategy. Holding those locations is so crucial as In Control begins to secure the northwest spot. Another tank's going to come out from Nick at Night to take it out, but now he's bringing out the Pitbull as well to help lock down that north position.
This missile is very, very close to firing. Let's see what's going to happen.
with another turret. In Control flanks, he takes the top, that missile,
and that
fires.
off. Wow.
And Nick at Night, one shot away from being knocked out here, as the next one will start to ready up in just a moment's time. In Control's very heady artillery force is doing a great job at taking control of the map.
Yep.
And we can see as more of Nick and Knight's forces move up towards that north position, those harvesters, of course, very crucial, very important to protect those, as your economy allows you to get these big late game units. The units are going to come out a bit more slowly as you get more of them on the field. But In Control, just spreading his forces out, trying to hold this advantage that he's had so far.
Nick and Knight is trying to get in there, but there's a great turret placement from In Control, blocking and just ripping through again those infantry.
And we see In Control now moving his tank towards this.
Another drill pod we're seeing with some flame tanks.
Yeah, bring in the flank. Of course, those flame guys do amazing damage to the infantry, help to clean that out. Meanwhile, 2 more tanks coming out from Nick at Night to try and secure those positions. He brings out the laser infantry on the south side as well to deal with that tank. Going for counters, trying to scout out and see what your opponent is doing and make the proper response is so important in strategy.
Absolutely. Nick at Night cruising around, thinking about harassing those harvesters, coming around the far side for those rhinos. Looks like he's really pressing it.
And we see that missile is starting to get close to firing with 3 zones In Control for Nick and Knight, looking to set things back the other way. In Control trying to rally his forces around. He doesn't want to engage with just 1 or 2 units. He wants to move all of them together, create a good flank position, and take over that south.
And we're seeing the first mech unit from In Control. This is the Wolverine. Gonna rip, and this is, watch out for this missile.
And Nick and Knight's gonna fire that one off and settle for next missile is gonna end it.
Next missile wins. Let's see what happens.
We'll have control. The Wolverines, as you pointed out, for In Control coming out to try and deal with these forces. But Nick at Night's done a great job of getting map presence and now also harassing the economy of In Control.
There he is. Yep. Wow. Okay, we've got our first mammoth tank on the board. If In Control can get this in position, he's going to do some serious damage.
That missile just past halfway ready. He's also bringing out his first air unit
to
deal with those.
A lot going on here.
It's got a lot of range, that big boy, and In Control just needs to hold.
This missile is nearly going to fire.
It can be stolen at any point.
Where's it going to go? Is he going to be able to get it
They
off?
are way too excited for this.
Gonna take
this is the most boring thing they've shown so far. Bar none. Wow.
Way too excited.
Amazing. What a match. Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
Any thoughts, guys?
I just came to make mammoth tanks, so I've done my job.
Absolutely. That was awesome. We saw a little bit of everything right there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Nathanius, Nick at Night, and In Control. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw was the worldwide reveal of Command & Conquer Rivals. Rivals reimagines the real-time strategy experience for mobile. We're giving players complete, continuous control of their armies in quick, competitive head-to-head matches that are fueled by skill and strategy. Now, Rivals will be coming to iOS and Android devices, but I'm excited to announce that Android players can play the pre-alpha today. So head to the Google Play Store, search Command & Conquer Rivals. The studio has been having an absolute blast playing this game, and we can't wait for you to play. Please let us know what you think. Thank you.
Command & Conquer for a new generation. Now, before we close the show with a spectacular epic anthem, I wanted to share a few final things. I am blessed to be able to work with some of the most creative people on the planet who come to work every day to create amazing entertainment. And what I can say about all of those teams and what I can say about us is that we are always trying to learn and listen and strive to be better. And so as you look at the 10 experiences that you're going to see today, and as you play games this week, there's some things we hope come through. First, that at the very core is choice, is that you as players get to choose how you play, what you play, when you play, and what devices you play on. That in making those choices, you feel you are treated fairly, that no one is given an unfair advantage or disadvantage for how they choose to play. That for every moment that you invest, we know that you put so much of your life into the games we make, and that for every moment that you invest,
Battlefield hit them hard.
you are rewarded and you are given value for that investment. And most importantly, that the games are fun, that we move past the grind, and that these are experiences that truly enhance your lives. And so, as we think through all the things that we're trying to do, know that we want to be better, and that we want to make great games. And that as much as we love making games, and as much as you love playing them, there's something that is even greater that we can do together. The power of this community when we come together to do amazing things is profound. Last weekend was the 3rd year of our Play to Give program, where we show the world how the power of play can be a positive force for social impact. Millions of you out there participated in 9 in-game challenges in our games, logging millions of hours in support of Play to Give. And to celebrate that, we contributed a total of $1 million to 3 charities that share our vision for a more inclusive world. A world where representation and equality are not something we strive for, they are the standards. And where bullying and exclusion are not an everyday threat. These 3 organizations, the United Nations He for She, PACE's National Bullying Prevention Center, and Ditch the Label, an anti-bullying organization, all are doing great work, and we're proud to support them through Play to Give. And thank you for your support. Thousands of us at EA and millions of you together doing immeasurable good because we love games. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for the incredible privilege of making games for all of you. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at Anthem.
The gods vanished.
Yep.
And left our world in chaos. Creating. Altering. Destroying. The anthem is all that remains.
There's a storm coming. These walls can't protect us forever.
Destroy us all.
I mean, graphically speaking, that looks amazing.
It's the content that worries me.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to tell from that, and I may be wrong, but I think I've seen some of that.
We've seen this stuff already, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like they're just sort of...
This is the new stuff we're going to be talking about right here, though.
So
Yeah.
I know all of you
you, like me, have had tons of questions about Anthem since last year because we're all BioWare fans. So we're going to do something a little bit different for the rest of the show, and we're going to take a deep dive into Anthem. So I'm going to bring out some members of the BioWare team to chat with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Casey Hudson, Mark Dara, and Kathleen Rutzart.
We're fucked.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out today. Just got a little game to show, right?
Yep.
It's going to be very exciting. So, Casey, we're going to go ahead and just jump right in and get started with you. So now, we know that you all started, or Casey, you started your career at BioWare way back in the day, but you took a couple years off. But before you came back, you actually worked on Anthem before you left.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, first of all, it's amazing to be back. It's awesome to be making games for BioWare fans. You know, we have the best fans. So it's been super satisfying to come back to it. And, you know, I just want to be able to continue the legacy of the studio. And that's kind of where it started with Anthem, is just thinking about, you know, what is the evolution of a BioWare game? And we wanted to create a brand new world for people to discover, you know, a whole new world of story and character. But we also wanted to do something that was, you know, more of a dynamic and living world, a game that would change every time you came back and played it. We also wanted to do something where, you know, if you wanted to invite your friends into it, then you could do that as well. So that was really the initial vision of the game, not an MMO, not a multiplayer game with story sort of bolted on this side, but something new and different, and I think the team has really captured that vision over the years.
Your fans really love the stories from BioWare, but I think we're kind of curious how you're planning to make story work in this shared world.
So a great story for BioWare is really about characters that you can have a connection with, choices you get to make, and feeling like the story is about you. In a lot of multiplayer games, those things get diluted because you're mixing multiplayer and storytelling into the same areas. Now, you can build a solution to that, but you have to really build it into the core of the game. And that's what we've tried to do with Anthem. It's what we call our world, my story. So when you're out in the open world, the world is really dangerous, and you're focused on your mission. And this is where other players get to play with you. The thing that's really interesting about this, it's unique for Anthem, is that this is a living shared world. So whether there's weather or it's nighttime, what we're experiencing together. Everyone that's playing Anthem at a moment is seeing the same thing. And this is what we mean when we talk about our world. It's a shared world that we all experience together. But then when I finish my mission, I come back to a base like Fort Tarsus. And this is a single-player experience. I turn in my rewards, I talk to some characters, I experience the choices of my action. And this is where your story really lives and breathes. And by doing it this way, we're able to combine that impact and agency of a single-player story with the fun of teaming up with your friends to play co-op in combat.
And we're also designing it so that we can add story for years to come. So one of the first things that we hear when, from our community is they want to continue to play in our worlds. When they've finished Mass Effect or Dragon Age, players want more story. And so we've designed Anthem in a way that we can actually add more story for years to come. And it could be anything. A new moment with a character that you've grown to love, or an event in the world that deepens the lore, or an entirely new storyline and plot.
Well, I'm certainly not going to complain about more story. I don't think anybody out there is going to either. So, Kathleen, I wanted to ask you, from a writing perspective, since you are the lead writer, can you speak to what it's like to create a new world like Anthem from the beginning?
Well, what's really exciting for us, and not just the writers, but all of the devs, the designers, the artists, is that we're creating something new and mysterious for players to discover. So at the heart of the premise of Anthem is a world left unfinished by the gods. But the gods left behind their massive tools, and those tools are in constant conflict with this unknowable force called the Anthem of Creation. And the chaos of those things pushing against each other means that the world is constantly being reshaped in new and unpredictable ways.
Yeah, violent storms, mutated creatures, gigantic monsters. It's a dangerous environment that you need to wear a suit of powered armor, a javelin, to be safe in.
Now, something I think a lot of players out there maybe don't stop to think about is just how much work goes into creating a new intellectual property, or IP, as we've been saying. Now, we've seen all these different creatures, and Mark, you mentioned the storms. What's the process of creating a game like from scratch?
Yeah, it's something we've done a few times at BioWare. And really the hardest part is getting started, just kind of getting off the blank page. So what we try to do is we think about the new experiences that we're trying to unlock for players. So what is the fantasy fulfillment? What are the new things you actually get to go and do that are different from what you've played before? So that's where we start. And then once we think about those things, that's the power of creating new IP, especially for games, is that you actually get to build a whole fictional universe that's meant to bring out a certain experience. And then once we do that, then we still need to build all the rest of the stuff, and what unlocks us creatively is to think about principles around art style, tone, and even the technology and the politics of our new world. And then from there, we can actually go and build out every last detail.
Yeah, and one of the unique challenges for Anthem is that it's a world, an experience that's meant to feel alive, like it's happening right now. And so the world is always changing, whether the storms, seasons, and yeah, it's a really great concept to write for, because what it means is it gives us the opportunity to drop into the world, almost in real time, a dramatic event that changes the world for everyone. And that could be anything from gameplay to lore.
I mean, all of the moving parts in the dynamic world sound really cool, the way that they sound like they're going to come together. But even though there's obviously a lot going on, it really all comes back to your character. So let's talk about who we're going to be playing as and why we're fighting these crazy beasts.
So you are a freelancer, uniquely skilled to pilot these Javelin exosuits. And you need those suits to survive and fight in this world, because the world will kill you. But on top of that, our ancient rivals, the Dominion, they've discovered a way, they think, to weaponize the Anthem of creation. And so we need to stop them and protect the free people of Tarsus.
Now, I've heard you call this power armor a couple different things. Is it a suit? Is it a javelin? What's the canon term here?
We call them javelins, and there are 4, and they each have unique abilities. There's the Ranger, and then there's the Colossus, the Interceptor, and finally, the Storm.
Yeah, so each javelin gives you a different way to play the game. But the thing to remember is, like Kathleen said, you're not your suit. You are a freelancer, a pilot, which means you can decide which suit you want to use based on your mood, based on the mission you want to engage in, or the javelins that your friends are using. So really what this allows us to do is we've built the suits to look like they're built from the materials of the world. So they each have their own unique abilities. So let's take a look at the Ranger now. The Ranger is a more generalized suit, able to do a lot of different things, really designed for up-close and personal combat, one-on-one for the most part. The Colossus is heavier, more specialized, but able to really pack in big weapons that let them devastate the battlefield.
I'm just going to say the Storm looks like it's going to be my favorite. I'm sure you guys out there are picking your faves right now, too. So the javelins look awesome, but we're going to take a couple questions right now. So Casey tweeted, some of you may have seen, asking for people out there to send us your questions. And the first one is going to be from @It'sSweetNicole, who asks, as a player who is all about making their character their own, what kind of customization options will be available in Anthem?
Yeah, so we really want players to express themselves, both through customizing the way their javelin plays, through gear and weapons, but also being able to personalize the way that it looks, both through paint jobs as well as changing the actual geometry of the suit itself. We want teams to be able to do this as well. And because you're going to be using a javelin for a long period of time, we really want you to be able to make it your own.
I'm glad you brought that up, because actually, Jay Legato has a question connected to customization. Monetization. How, when, loot box, cosmetics?
Yeah, so we are going to have some cosmetics and vanity items that you'll be able to purchase, but you're always going to know what you're going to buy before you spend any money on it. So no loot boxes, no ability to pay for power.
Yay.
So that means no ability to spend money on gameplay advantage at all within Anthem. But even more important than that, we want to make sure that Anthem is an immersive experience that feels like it's complete from the get-go. So that means a main story, a big open world, and an ongoing service that provides new content for a long period of time. New story, new experiences for everyone.
Well, I'm glad to hear that I can make my javelin pink. That's really all I wanted to know, I'm going to be honest. All right, Casey, we talked earlier about this being a co-op experience. So can you tell me a little bit about how the team gameplay in Anthem is going to work?
Yeah, it really is about the fun of teaming up as a team of superheroes and working together. So you want to get a few people together of different classes. So I think here we're going to see the Colossus, just hammering people on the ground in gameplay. If we can have a look at that. So heavy artillery, being really strong, in melee combat. And then here you've got the Ranger shooting down from above. And then they're using combos and special abilities and stuff like that. But what I love is you don't just run around, you're swimming and flying as well.
So it's interesting because at the Slate Tones wants to know, how will you balance multiplayer with single-player storytelling?
So Anthem's really built around trying to combine the impact of having your own personal story with the fun of playing with other players. But we really want to make sure that, that playing with other people feels like a choice. So for people that want to just experience the story, you're going to be able to do that. Now, going out into an open world like this by yourself is going to be a little bit more challenging than if the team of 4 people. And we've really tried to balance the co-op experience to be fun, even for people that don't normally engage in this kind of thing. So I really hope that everyone at least gives co-op a try.
Okay, that's good to know. If you want to roll solo, you can, but it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Well, I know you all are on the edges of your seats. How about we show a little gameplay? Yeah? You guys want that? All right, so Kathleen, I think you're going to set this up for us?
I will. So, you and your friends have decided to play a mission called Scars and Villainy. The Scars have put together an acid-based super weapon, so you got to take them out. So you start in the Strider, which is like a giant walker, and it's your forward base of operations. You have a conversation with your crew, Halleck, Faye, and Owen, and you'll hear Owen. He's going to talk us through the mission as we experience it here. And yeah, then you just get into your javelin suit and you head out with your friends.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark, Casey, Kathleen, for talking to me about Anthem today. We're going to go ahead and roll the gameplay now. Enjoy, everybody.
Freelancer, time to get to work.
Faye said these bastards made some kind of acid. They're using it as a weapon. So, find where they're making this garbage and shut it all down.
This is a little upsetting for EA because this is the same footage they gave us last year.
Owen?
What's the
yeah,
plan?
they really haven't
Picking up
changed
loads
much
of scars
at
nearby.
all.
Take a look around the area, but be careful.
They've given a little more details this time, but yeah.
Yeah, a couple of details, but this is almost identical footage.
Yeah. Like I said, it's visually very appealing, pleasing to look at. But
Well, it looks like it would be a lot of fun. But when they said that they are removing, or that there was no pay to win or pay to power,
Better move quickly.
I wonder what that meant for the game overall, because originally that's how it was supposed to be.
Right. I mean, I'm glad they're
Okay, so
getting
maybe this
away
is
from
different.
that.
I don't remember them fighting a big thing.
There's a Shaper relic. Wait, something's odd. Get a closer look, would you? See those radiant pieces of energy? They're echoes from the Anthem of Creation. Loads of scars nearby. Be careful. Return them to the relic. You've got to silence it fast.
Okay, so I take that back. This is a lot of great footage.
It's gone silent. Disaster averted. Do you think we get a bonus for... Wait, something's happening.
The suit's very Iron Man-ish, though.
What the
That
hell is
sounds
that?
just
I
like
think
Jarvis.
That was whatever laid all the eggs around here. The sound came from below your position. On the plus side, this definitely counts toward hazard pay.
I'm just
There's
happy
a
to
train
see
of this
so much
acid
co-op
gunk
gaming
leading
being
down.
listed.
Follow it, and we should find the source.
Well, that just made this a game that Cat's not gonna play.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a spider, but yeah.
I'm so hyped, you guys.
Close enough.
Yep, and that was actually just a short version of the full demo that we brought here to LA. So if you want
I don't know, that
to
looks
come by
good.
the Anthem Theater here at EA Play, you can check out the game live.
So I'm sure the question on everyone's minds, when do we get to play?
So Anthem comes out February 22nd, 2019 on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
So mark your calendars, everybody. Fire off your tweets. Thank you so much again to Casey and the entire BioWare team. I know you guys have that awesome theater outside, so I will see you guys there.
All right.
Give it up for Casey Hudson, everybody.
They feel like they're really smart to do cross-platform.
I also want to give a big thank you to all
The releases are usually all cross-platform. It's the matter of you can't play cross-platform. It's still an issue.
all a round of applause.
Like if someone's playing PC,
You can't play with somebody who's playing on Xbox or PS4.
You guys have
Yeah.
to wait to
Yeah,
play.
that's a bit
You guys, EA has so much available
aggravating,
right
but
now.
the fact
Now,
that
for
it's
those of you
available is
keeping
not
score,
just
you can get your
a
free trial
PlayStation
of FIFA 18's
exclusive
World
or,
Cup
you know,
today.
I really like
and
that.
Andrew told us about the
They
free
do
trial
that.
of Origin Access. Yarny is back with a buddy in Unravel 2, which is also available today. Plus, you can take on your friends in Command & Conquer Rivals starting today as well. Now, that's a lot of available stuff that's out today. Is anybody ready to go home and download anything? No? You're like, I just want to go outside into the fan fest. I get it, I get it. So I want to let you guys know to keep your streams going because in just a few moments, the FIFA 18 World Cup live tournament is going to begin. I'm going to head outside and check out the games, but I want to thank everybody for coming down to EA Play today and watching the press conference, and have a great weekend.
I mean, so far there's been several games I would be very interested in checking out.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, I think Unravel Hi guys, my name is True Boy. Welcome back to the stream. Now, I know the FIFA 19 was exciting. We saw that trailer. Champions League is coming to FIFA for the first time ever, but the World Cup is 5 days away. So
And it kind of looks like it might be a 2-player game, honestly, the way they have it.
Yes, that's the big deal with that when they announced
It's co-play. Which the first one was not, but it was still a great story.
Right.
But the second one, yeah, co-play, that's awesome.
It's going to be trickier because
you got to work together for sure.
Yeah, because it looks like they're attached.
Yeah, they are. That's why I said it looked like that's a possible 0 and 4-co game for sure.
I don't think of a game for that.
It would be interesting to see them have to work together like that.
I think what they've done is brilliant. I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, you get the chance to win the World Cup. I've been able to do that, so it's probably the closest I'm going to get to winning it. So it's been good.
I just love how the cute, like, soft design of the characters go against the backgrounds. It kind of reminds me of Pikmin.
First up on the USA side, we're gonna have Lil Yachty, aka Lil Boat. Lil Boat, how you doing? All right.
Hi.
Yeah, SOS does look good too, Howard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna have to definitely check that one out.
Of the Teen Titans Go movie as well. Yeah. Dude, I'm a big Teen Titans fan, so I really do love that. King Batch as well. You know him from being one of the kings of Vine, the king of Vine, I would say.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think I said
that. Right.
I'll say that, right? I know him from The Babysitter on Netflix. By the way, check it out.
Netflix, yeah.
One thing I will say is I think they did a much better job with their overall presentation. I think splitting up the sports and not having one great big segment made that a lot better.
Well, yeah, it's smart because you're going to get a larger audience that's going to stick with it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
That man bun, though, just and his Fu Manchu mustache, like, what is going on? Oh my God.
Dude with the jeans, what was with the pants? Like,
yeah.
He gets all the curls on the end of it, like he waxes it.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about.
Okay, so I was muted. I don't know how long I was muted for.
The whole time.
Lovely. Okay, so what I was saying is I have a huge... my biggest concern is still Anthem, because Anthem has had a whole... It looks really good. It looks like a game that I want to be like, yes, that's going to be the next game. But I've been following all of their development issues. And everything that I've read or followed to suggest that it's a nightmare and they don't know how to package it. And that worries me. Well, originally it had all of the same type of transactions and all the microtransactions and everything built into it, just like Battlefield did. And when Battlefield got hit as hard as it did because of what happened. With their release, Anthem was kind of SOL because their game was so heavily banked on the same exact system.
I knew it.
Yep.
Well,
and
I'll tell you anything.
For them to actually come out now and say that this is an absolute no boxes, no microtransactions type thing, that makes me think like, okay, well then, what really are you?
From the sounds of it, it sounds like they're going with Warframe style of microtransactions where you pay for exactly what you want to pay for. You know what you're going to get when you're buying something.
Well, yeah, but what they said today here on stage was there is no paying for any type of performance boost.
Of loot
in
boxes.
Warframe, well, yeah, but still in Warframe, you can speed along getting performance boosts because you don't want to do it. You can pay to skip.
It sounds like they're paying stuff as going to be cosmetics, but when you buy the cosmetics,
cosmetics is absolutely fine, you know.
But we'll see if that remains true come February.
Yeah, but see, that's my biggest problem. Like, I want to be super excited for the game, but then it's like, but I know your secret.
I know something that you guys don't know. That guy, Casey Hudson, consider that game dead because he's the one who fucked over Mass Effect 3.
He's the one who did Mass Effect 3?
The one who ruined the ending of Mass Effect 3. He's the one who wrote that ending.
Oh, no.
That's why I said we're fucked the minute I saw that.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. The minute that Eric sees that, he's going to be like, nope.
That ending retroactively made me like the previous Mass Effects less, just because of how bad it was.
Yes.
That's a shame, because 1 and 2 were good.
It's heartbreaking, and it's a disaster.
It wasn't Andromeda. I feel like they released Andromeda just so people would stop talking about how bad 3 was.
They made that whole game. There was actually nothing wrong with the faces or animations at all. They did that on purpose to get people.
Just so people would stop bitching about Mass Effect 3.
We actually enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good.
Oh, I know. It was the fact that they had issues that they shouldn't have had.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah, you expect better of a AAA game.
Absolutely. The issues that they were having were indie developer issues. And
exactly.
yeah, and they should not have been having them. Hang on a sec, I gotta actually keep up a chat too. I didn't realize that people were still on. Go in and see.
So, I will remain hesitantly excited, and then very judgmental as we get closer to February.
So what game are you playing, Zero, at the moment?
The game that I am playing is called Hero Siege.
Hero Siege. Okay, thank you.
It's a little PC cell phone game. Is that a question that somebody asked, or?
Avid was wanting to know.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a cheap little $4 game, but it's really good. But yeah, I'm super concerned about Anthem.
I'm looking forward to the multiplayer aspect, but I don't trust the story aspect any further than I could throw a truck.
The problem is EA is controlling BioWare. That's the issue here.
Yes, absolutely.
EA would get their sticky fingers out of BioWare's back pockets.
Well, so here's my issue with EA. That's always my issue with EA. Look what they did to Maxis.
Oh, Maxis.
I was a huge Maxis fan. I love everything that they did with the Sims. SimCity. I used to be super excited for any kind of announcements. And now we get things like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that they're still doing updates. But there are, and in this case I can only think of one other game that actually does this. But there are like 10 or 11 different DLCs for The Sims now, for Sims 4. And Sims 3 had something like 23 DLCs.
And that's not counting the fact that you can go in and buy individual furniture and stuff, and it's really expensive.
Yeah, and it's full price. Like you're paying like $30 sometimes for, just like okay, I want a dog in the game, or I want to be able to go on a picnic. Just stuff like that, and they're still doing it with 4, where it's just like, oh, we're gonna add seasons now. Like you knew that you were gonna do that back when you made the game. Why didn't you just add it to the game? And of course the answer is EA.
Some calculations I've seen, it's gonna cost. I mean, it already costs like several $100s to play Sim 4 as a complete experience.
Yeah, the only other game that I've seen do that, aside from The Sims, is Train Simulator, which I was just having this discussion the other day because I downloaded Train Simulator because they were having a free weekend, because I wanted to see if I could justify the $7,500 full price.
What?
That's just the 2018 simulator. If you go back to 2017, 2016, the full price is $26,000 in order to download the full version of Train Simulator. Wow. And I played the game. I'm not proud to say this, but I put about 3 hours into the game. And I made it about a half a mile down the route that I was supposed to.
Wow.
Now it looks good. You pass areas that exist, but it's like if you were playing Grand Theft Auto and you were just driving a train. Like there's no $26,000.
No, it's playing Grand Theft Auto, and every time you carjack a car, you have to pay $5.99.
$5.99 for this. That's exactly right. That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, it's pretty much anytime you want to switch up what you're doing or get a new track or a new train, they're charging you up to $30 to do that.
Wow. It's crazy.
And I feel like EA their name should be on that game somewhere, because that's exactly what they're doing with The Sims. That's exactly what they did with the entire Maxis IP.
That's what EA does.
It's a shame.
Great studios like Maxis, and I fully believe BioWare is going to be closed in the next few years. Honestly.
Well, they'll be dead. They'll move on to another company, or they'll go start another company themselves.
They eat independent games, drink everything they have, and then throw their corpses in a pile of other corpses.
Yeah, they
do.
Didn't they sometime during this I know they did. Hang on a sec. Somewhere during this thing today. Yeah, they screwed over. Oh, okay, hang on a sec. Sorry, I didn't see the pull me in thing. If you want to be pulled into the room, I need you to go into general.
I am doing old ear testing, so I'm gonna hop into another Discord with Satoshi while I do this.
Yeah, go do your thing. So I feel like if earlier in the presentation they said that they were working with individual developers in order to help those individual studios with their games and their IPs.
Breed victims?
The people that did, was it Breakout or A Way Out or something like that? Mm-hmm. Where you play the brothers or whatever? They said that they were helping the studios that don't have like fundings and stuff. I feel like that's exactly what they're doing. They're conditioning that studio to be bought out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to end up just like it did with Maxis, just like it's going to end up with BioWare. I mean, as soon as EA bought them out, they made Mass Effect 3. That's what EA did to him. So I'm a lot nervous about Anthem. I want to be excited for it, but
yeah, I did not realize that it was originally going to be just like Battlefield, or was planned to be until that whole shit show went down.
Yeah, the microtransaction thing was where you're like you would get like, okay, this your blaster does extra damage and shit like that. It's like they don't do that, because then you're gonna have people who don't want to put the time into the game that are just gonna dump. All right, I've got $6,000 or whatever. I'm gonna get the best of the best and then just constantly hold top of the game, no matter what.
Which defeats the purpose of their being.
Well, yeah, because you're always going to have the same guy on top, like,
exactly.
Haha, you can't kill me. And it's not a matter of skill, it's a matter of he put out, yeah, it's a matter of credit card or cash.
He wants to spend $1 million.
And it's such a shame.
Well, that's bad too, but it also breaks the game entirely, because games are about progression. Feeling your character's journey as you become stronger over time. Like, I'm weak now I'm strong. I've gotten better at the game. Things like that. That's all part of the power fantasy of many games. When your credit card breaks the power fantasy, it just breaks the game entirely. There's no progression, and you lose the whole point of playing the game entirely.
Well, it's essentially cheating. It's just like cheating. Like, what's the if you have to put in time and effort into a game and you finally beat it after months and months of trying and failing, then you have a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
But if you start a game, good.
Imagine if you play Dark Souls and you just type in "I want to win Dark Souls" and then immediately one hit kill everything and you're invincible. Is Dark Souls still fun?
There's no point to it at that. You're just
even somebody like me who
it's just a stabbing simulator. Sorry.
Settings wouldn't really benefit from something like that, because when I play something on easy, I'm having as hard a time on easy as you guys are having on hard.
Oh, difficulty settings are totally different.
So that's what I'm saying, though. Even somebody like me who plays on easy wouldn't want what you guys are describing, because it wouldn't really work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because even on easy, there's still things that you would have to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when you pay to not, basically you're paying not to play the game. It's just like people are like, if you don't have time, give us money and we'll beat the game for you. So anybody that's listening, if you want a game beaten for you, I accept all major credit cards. I'll work out a PayPal deal with you, and I'll just play the games for you. Okay? Don't give your money to EA.
What were you saying, Catlina?
Oh, I was saying that essentially it's like, okay, so they'll beat the game for me. Will they eat pizza for me too? Will they go to the bathroom for me? You guys are saying it's pointless.
Will they come over to my apartment and hold my dick for me while I...
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, if they do, that's actually a pretty good price.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Good point. Good point.
Although I will say that, okay, so about 2 months ago, Forco and I both paid for their Origin Premier program. So it's basically like Steam, except you pay a monthly or yearly subscription thing. And we both played. Hey Squirrels, we both paid for the year. So we got 1 year of the EA Premier thing, and he went to Forco. In Forco's case, went to go play Dead Space, and two full failed attempts later of streaming this game and off streaming, trying to get this thing fixed. We had to skip that game because we couldn't play it through all of the bugs.
Oh wow, that's bad.
Of course, we couldn't. All of the fixes and stuff like that got sent to forums. Like if you should be able to find your answer in these forums here, or had to wait 24 to 48 hours, depending on when you submitted it, to get a response from EA. At which EA pointed him to the forums.
That sounds like when Jay and I went to play Star Wars: The Old Republic and it screwed around with his credit card. That was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then in my case, I had gotten it because I was just like, all right, I'm gonna get the full version, their full version of The Sims. So like I had all the extras and stuff like that. I didn't have to pay, you know, $1,000 to have all of The Sims 4.
Yeah.
And it deleted all of my saved gear. Like I had a bunch of we had done the streams where it's just like we had a whole bunch of people send in their pictures and we made Sims out of them.
I remember that.
Yeah, and like it was a fun thing. It was a lot of fun. Very time consuming, but it was a lot of fun. It deleted all my saved progress. And I couldn't get it back. I would try through everything I could think of, and I couldn't get it back. But so I was a little upset about that. But I mean, what we got out of that was there was like a whole bunch of games like Mirror's Edge, Mirror's Edge 2, Titanfall 2. I'm surprised at the price that they're asking for you to subscribe monthly and subscribe yearly. I'm surprised that they're giving away their new release games in that service. That seems very odd because they weren't asking for very much for the year.
The thing that doesn't surprise me about it is that the stuff doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, no, in the 2 games that we primarily got the service for, because I think we paid, I think it came out to like $50 for the entire year. Well, kind of like Xbox Live service type thing. So it came out to $50 for the year, and it gave you access to all of their games. And we is this okay? Yeah. So, the games that we actually got the service for both had issues, like right off the bat. And I don't think we ever went back to try any of the other games. I think it was just right off the bat we knew that it's just like, all right, this isn't going to be great.
Yeah.
Now, if they fix that. And they went up and they added better content, better customer service,
Big time
and actually made it worth. I mean, I feel like the amount that they're asking for is already really good.
Yeah, it's a lot less than what I anticipated. I figured it would be like an MMO and be $15 a month.
Yeah, it came out to like $4.99 a month, or like $50 for the year, something like that. It was ridiculously low, which is why we got it. It was like, all right, that's a lot of games that we could do stuff for the channel with.
Yeah,
and a lot of games that we haven't maybe necessarily wanted to play, but if they were, since it was part of the thing, we probably would give them a shot because we're getting it as a package deal.
It's $4.99 a month or $29.99 a year.
What?
They lowered the price then.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, they lowered the price then.
7-day free trial also, which you have access to all their games, 100 plus PC games, and anything you play, it says it will carry over. It'll save it and carry it over if you buy the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame we can't give them a more positive endorsement.
Okay, so yeah, so that's actually almost half of what we paid initially for it. And in the case that we had, I couldn't play The Sims because it said you don't have permission to play this because it wasn't acknowledging the subscription. So I mean, I'm a little. If they fixed that service, I'd be a little bit happier. But I feel like they're trying to fight or compete with Steam.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, Steam is an entrenched position. They're not going to be able to overturn that.
It's not going to be easy at any rate. Microsoft is trying too.
They're trying, that's for sure.
I heard some dirty shit from Microsoft too. They're saying that they were going to that. I don't know how legit or if it came from any sources, but I heard somebody was saying that they could alter the way that Windows 10 works, which would counter the way that Steam currently works and make it a rough program to use on Windows 10.
I've heard that Microsoft wants to make it so that Windows 10 can only download things that are approved by Microsoft.
Yeah, we'll see how well that goes.
Yeah, that would destroy Microsoft if they did something like that.
Agreed.
And anytime you're dealing with something that somebody's just like, okay, we're going to close off your freedom because we don't like it, or we want to find a better way to monetize it, or we want control of it, that's where you're going to have you're going to be dealing with the death of a company, and you're going to be dealing with people that are going to want to.
Well, even before that, Steam or Valve has a lot of money for lawyers, and if Microsoft did that, that's an antitrust or a trust position or monopoly, excuse me. And Valve has really good lawyers, so see how.
If any company out there could match Valve's lawyers, I'd say it's definitely Microsoft.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Microsoft, but
you're absolutely right.
If anyone could match Microsoft's lawyers, it would be Valve.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I mean, the big reason that most people run PC is that they can openly decide what they want to download. Otherwise, most people would just go with a Mac.
No, I don't know about that. I feel like Mac already has the issue where it's just like, I mean, as far as their store goes and stuff like that, they already have that kind of control where it's just like, the only things that are allowed in our store are something that we've already approved. They're already running that system.
Yeah, but as I'm saying though, the reason people choose PC over Mac right now is that isn't an issue here.
Yeah, it's because it's yours. It's a personal computer. It's
Yes.
not a corporate computer.
If it became an issue though, I could see a lot of people potentially saying, okay, if these are our two choices, fuck it, and going to Mac because Mac is actually better quality for creators and stuff.
Yeah, I would think you'd see a boom in Linux.
Yeah, maybe the day of Linux is coming.
Yeah,
Yes and no.
There we go, Avid. Yeah, Avid just said the same thing. Yeah, Linux. I think that's where you'd see the boom.
I think you'd see a lot of enthusiasts increase, but Linux is a complicated system, and most people don't understand it, and some people don't even realize it exists.
I mean, yeah, some people don't realize it exists, but I mean, you can start people off with like Ubuntu, and that's a very, very easy system to use. It's very, very Microsoft-like. You could have no issues.
Yeah,
Mac isn't cut out for gaming, period.
Mm-hmm.
Power-wise, it is not.
I absolutely agree with you there. But what we're saying is, if Microsoft did this, Microsoft.
That's why. Yeah, that's why.
Gaming either.
That's why I'm thinking that you'd see the boom in Linux because
Yeah.
Mac doesn't really. It's not an open source.
No,
It's a
it's
closed
not.
source.
Probably people will be split. Some will go Mac, some will go Linux, some will go, I don't know, Red Hat. Depending on...
It really depends on the person. Some people are looking for accessibility, some people are looking for customization. It's kind of the Android versus iOS situation, really.
I could definitely see a lot of like older people, like grandmas or whatever, going Mac or something, and maybe some young enthusiasts might go Linux. Depends.
That sounds about right.
But I'm seeing a lot more, and I'm kind of wondering if Steam would end up doing something like that. I think
I'm wondering about that too. Yeah.
Me and Forco had that discussion when we were talking about how EA was handling it, where instead of paying to get all these game keys that you don't really get a chance to play, make it a yearly subscription, where you pay Valve for the year, and you get to play everything in their catalog.
I'd like to see a monthly option, because for something like that for yearly, it would have to be like $400 or $500 a year.
I don't necessarily know. It could be something along the lines of like how YouTube Red works, where the games that you end up playing the most, they're the ones who see the most of your yearly subscription.
Yeah.
But I also feel like if by doing something like that, you would allow for people who, let's say, like, I don't know, it's a game that I don't think I would ever touch. I don't know. So like NBA 2019. Alright? That's not a game that I would ever play. But if I was on a subscription where I could try it for free, and then, you know, if I don't like it, or when I'm done, just uninstall it and it didn't cost me anything,
yeah, absolutely,
I would be way more apt to trying those types of games or getting into those types of games.
I can definitely vouch for that, not with gaming, but with music, because I have Apple Music, and I know that there are a lot of things I'll check out because I can listen to anything on there that I wouldn't necessarily check out if I was paying individually for the CDs.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand why more companies don't do that, where you have, you know, try playing it, because you don't know sometimes if you're going to like a game style or a game type.
That's why they don't want you to try it. They want your money first.
Yeah, because if you don't like it, then tough, you already bought it. Which is why it was such a big deal when Steam put in returns.
Yes.
Well, for me personally, though, there has been a lot of games that I would have never paid to play without knowing if I liked it or not. But after trying it, I absolutely bought it. I was like, this is an amazing game. Of course I want to buy it. So, I don't know. I guess it goes both ways.
I mean, I guess what it would come down to is exactly how much does the average person spend on Steam a year?
Yeah.
And then what would be an acceptable amount for a system like that? Because I feel like if EA is doing this, and this is the conversation I had with Forco, if EA is doing something like this now, it's only a matter of time before the Microsoft store is doing it. Sony's already started it. For right now, if you go and get a Sony membership, you get PlayStation PC, which lets you play on your PC games like The Last of Us. And yes, really? Right now for a monthly subscription, you can go play those games on your PC right now. And mind you, with your Xbox controller, yes, because it's considered a Microsoft, what is it, add-on or?
Yeah. Getting back to the topic of like people making money off of people not liking something and being stuck with it. It really does come down to being a question of, will they make more money by people buying it and being unhappy than they would by people trying it and then deciding to make a purchase? And that comes down to the quality of games.
Well, see, because
I remember
if you have just to add to what you're saying, if you have a subscription service that's allowing you to try games and then you buy them, not only are you paying the subscription fee for the year, but you're also keeping that I want to own this mentality to add it to your personal collection, so they would only be making more money by doing so.
Absolutely.
So you want to try?
I have evidence of that, actually.
What was that, Gabby?
I'd say so. You want like a trial period. So like you want to try out this game. You have 7 days to figure out if you like the game or not, and then you purchase it type thing.
It's a tough call on that, because with some shorter story games, 7 days, like a game like Beyond Two Souls, Jay and I went down to EB, picked it up, brought it back here, played it, took it back to EB, and got something else with our money. So that can be tough too. I can understand the concern there.
Yeah, that's the thing though. For the trying to work the game and people to buy, it has to be a game that people want to buy. If they try it and hate it, there's no purchase, and then the game is essentially dead in the water.
Yeah.
So the requirement is that the game must be good for the trying to work.
Yeah, and you would have a lot less garbage, I feel, on Steam. Because if you have that subscription thing and then people are like, okay, well, let me try this, and then you're like, oh wow, this is horrible. I'm so glad I didn't buy this. And then you can actually still write a legitimate review and be like, listen, I played it under the subscription. This is a horrible game. Don't spend your money on it. But like you would.
Sometimes it's not the gameplay. Sometimes it's because we're talking PC. It's a mechanical thing. Like I downloaded Vampire the other night, and I had the technical difficulties I had. I'm sure the game is lovely, but I can't play it for whatever reason.
Yeah, you had graphical issues. Yes. Whereas I can say on my end, I didn't have those issues. The game plays beautifully, and I have really enjoyed the story for it. With no issues at all.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to say earlier regarding the whole being able to try before you buy aspect is that I remember back in the old days on the Xbox 360 when they would have demos, and as a player with disabilities, the ability to download games and try a demo was absolutely amazing, and it opened up so many genres for me that I never would have tried, and I would have been too afraid to buy because games are expensive. And sometimes there are things a review can't tell you that a demo can.
Yeah, and you've seen less and less demos nowadays. You still see them. But yeah, you do get less and less demos. Howard, you're absolutely right. It does come down to personal opinion when dealing with any of the stuff. But I would say, as an example, I played Ark when it was under early access, and it was I don't know, out for maybe 3 months or something like that, 4 months. It wasn't out very long under early access. Going into that game, had I seen reviews, I don't think I ever would have paid full price for it. Ever. But now, after seeing that, what's happened to it after being in early access and stuff like that, I personally, although I like the game, and I like playing the game, I don't think I'll ever support the developer again, because I don't like their business practices. And the only reason I was able to come to that conclusion myself is because I had put the time in beforehand. And I think a subscription-based type thing would let you get in on that level with the developers early on to see exactly what kind of people they are. And based on their business choices while they were developing Ark, I don't think I'll ever support that developer again, outside of Ark.
Yeah, the Ark one's a good point, actually. Being able to see games, see what developers are doing, see their business practices. That's another reason why quite often there's a lot of secrecy behind game development and things like that, because nobody wants you to be able to see behind the curtain, because then you might get mad and not like their game anymore.
You might not like the way that they're going. In Ark, in case you're not familiar with Ark, the reason, or what Ark developers did, was they started working on the DLC content and had the DLC content ready for release before the original game was even out of early access.
Oh, that's bad.
That is a huge fucking no-no.
That's Bethesda horse armor bad.
No, wasn't the DLC released before it was even out of early access?
Yeah, Scorched Earth was released before the DLC for the game was released before the game was technically released. So you got the DLC before you got the game.
Yep, the DLC was $20, I believe.
$20. And the way that they justified it, and they justified it with anger to their fans, was, well, we ran into some issues, and doing the DLC and releasing the DLC in this way will help us with new funds coming in to work through some of the issues that we were having with the game. To which my only thought was, you probably wouldn't have been having those issues financially if you were working on the game and not the DLC. And I mean, granted, I'm not there. I don't know their expenses or any of that stuff. I couldn't honestly say. But as a company, I feel what they did was wrong. And although I do really enjoy Ark, outside of Ark, I will never support anything that Wildcard does again.
Fair enough.
And
what
that's
is Wildcard doing these days? I don't even know what they're up
They're
to.
still developing Ark.
Oh.
The Ark is working on its last expansion now. There are 4 expansions in.
Oh.
They're working on their last one now, which is called Extinction.
Oh, that's right.
They just put out PicArk, which was like a Minecraft version. And the reason I'm so caught up on Ark right now and how it's relevant to EA is a lot of the reasons I don't like EA is because they have the same similar business practices that Wildcard was trying to pass as acceptable.
EA has done a lot of questionable business things over the years, absolutely.
So that's why I brought it up. So I don't know anything about that Unravel game. I don't know about the first one. I don't know about the second one, aside from what I just saw.
All we know
So
is
somebody
they're
want to
out
tell
now.
me about it?
It actually was a really neat little game. I mean, visually it was adorable and cute, but it had some like puzzle parts to it because you had to move around with your own yarn. So you had to like.
It's kind of like how Inside and Limbo, like you go through the game, and it's got little puzzles you got to figure out how to do it, where to go, and you got little dangers. But it was like it was a little yarn creature, and it has a backstory of like it's telling this family's story as it goes along, and little photographs kind of pop up along the way of an actual family. If I'm correct, it's a lady actually did this, and I mean, she's not the one that made the game, obviously, but it's based on her story, her family story and stuff. So it's got a lot of intricacies in that. It's a good story mode based game.
Okay.
It reminded me a lot of like, what was the Twinkie game? The Nightmares.
Little Nightmares.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of that in the gameplay style, I think. And I liked it, and the fact they're gonna have a multiplayer one and you're having to work together, that's really cool. I like that idea. I would absolutely play that.
The first one was just single player.
Yeah, it looked adorable.
That's what I
It
thought.
really
Oh my
is.
gosh,
It's very well. The graphics were great in it.
but it was such a refreshing change of art style from all the other stuff that they were showing.
It reminded me of Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet, or I was saying Pikmin, it kind of with the detailed backgrounds and then the soft characters.
Oh yeah.
But no, Little Big Planet, bleh, is an absolutely great example of something else that's in that kind of style, and I love that one.
Yeah, I loved Little Big Planet. That was one of my favorite games, actually. Are they doing anything else with that? Does anybody know?
I don't know whether there's anything else with that. Media Molecule is working on a different project. I think it's called Dreams. Hopefully they get that wrapped up so they can do something else Little Big Planet related. Because it has been.
I would really like to see Little Big Planet come back because of the fact that, in case you haven't played Little Big Planet, the thing that was fun about it was you could create anything.
Yes.
And then anybody in the world could play your anything.
Yeah, the tagline was play, create, share.
Yeah.
I actually bought my PS3 because I wanted Little Big Planet.
Oh. That's
And I'm usually not a platformer, and I still wanted it, and it was amazing. And then Little Big Planet 2 had co-op, and Jay and I actually played the co-op online a lot.
Yeah, we had fun.
Oh, hi, Yellow.
Hi.
Yeah, he's been here for a while. I keep trying to find ways to bring him into the conversation, because he's sitting here.
I mean, what is your opinion on, have you got a chance to actually get caught up on what was shown today?
I only caught the part at the end with Agony.
Anthem, hun.
Anthem.
Oh, that's a different game entirely. Holy crap, conversation.
Agony's a whole nother video that we'd have to do. But all right, so does anybody else have anything else they want to add for the EA stuff?
Did anyone have anything to say about Sea of Solitude?
I like the art style.
Yeah, same.
That was pretty.
That was like
I actually watched a TED Talk about the medical and psychological dangers of loneliness. So the concept for that game really intrigues me, and I love the art style. I definitely want to check that out.
I do have a comment to say about EA's new Command & Conquer game.
Oh my god, just no.
I played Command & Conquer, the original one, Tiberian Dawn and Tiberian Sun, hours when I was younger. It was one of my favorite games of all time. I loved Command & Conquer. I loved the lore. I read through everything again and again. It was one of my favorite things. So seeing them make a mobile game out of it makes me mad. And EA's track record with mobile games is microtransaction hell. So I expect very little.
I still can't get over that guy's pants. They were bad.
Yeah.
It's going to be the talk of the conference. Yeah.
I mean, seriously though, it really did look to me like they were his girlfriend's pants. He was just so late. He just threw on whatever he could find. That was.
Well, the one guy looked like he got into a fight with a bear, and the other one looked like he had multiple types of paint splashed on him while he was playing Twister or something.
They were tight little flowery pants, yeah.
Alright, does anyone else have anything else, Doug?
I think I'm good.
Cool. When's the next conference?
Oh, 1 second, I'll check the schedule.
It's like tonight at 9:30, isn't it?
No, it's not until tomorrow. There was only one today.
Oh,
there are 2 tomorrow.
sure.
There are 3 on Monday.
Yeah, tomorrow the first one's Microsoft at 4, and then
No, there's
Bethesda.
one before that.
Is there?
Hold on, let me check. I think.
I'm looking at their Twitter, which may not be.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the pre-show, just the actual conference.
No, you are correct. They are, for us, Microsoft is at 4 p.m. Eastern, and then Bethesda is at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm getting my days mixed up.
Bethesda's late night. Okay, so then we'll be back tomorrow at 3:30ish.
That sounds about right.
All right, so everybody have a good day. Thank you for joining us.
Well, it's fun.
Bye.